Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here, and in today's video I'm coming to you wearing an uncharacteristically festive shirt. I don't normally dress this bold, but I wanted to make a video today. I started this channel years ago, Makeshift Llama, and the idea was, teaching about all camelids, llamas and alpacas and vicuñas and, camels, and teaching about them all and teaching about training them. One of the problems we have in America is that llamas are not trained well. And I have worked with wildlife my whole life. I've trained all different kinds of wildlife, and I'm used to using all kinds of training techniques that are very advanced and very forward-thinking. So humanity has a long, rich history working with birds of prey, from falconry to horsemanship to domesticating things like cattle and dogs and goats and all these things. And a lot of our ways of thinking about how we approach the training of animals is very antiquated because it came from an antiquated time. And some of the things work, but sometimes there's a better way to do it. And what I've seen across the board in America, there's not a rich history of working with llamas. And so most of the people who work with llamas are people who already work with horses. Horses are not at all closely related to camels at all. They have a very different mental way of thinking and viewing the world, and a very different approach. And so you're basically taking horsemanship thinking and applying it to a llama, which is a type of camel. They're camelids. They are camels. They can even be crossed with camels. So you're training a camelid with horse techniques. It's not the best approach. My llamas and alpacas that I've trained have never, ever, ever spit on me, ever, or anybody. There's just a way of teaching with respect and a way of teaching and getting them to be more agreeable that works wonders. So I don't have any camelids right now. I'm about to get another llama soon, and I'm like, you know what? I ought to get this channel up and going again. So I wanted to start off with sharing one of the most important secrets to properly training a llama. And I'll do more videos on this down the road, and I'm going to demonstrate how this works. But here's the way of thinking. A lot of times when you're dealing with horses, the idea is you've got to break a horse, and you've got to show them you're in charge, and you're leading. And there's this whole different way of thinking with a horse. Horses are very reactive, they and they're very. Camelids are thinkers. They react as well, but they are far more thinkers. And horses have a good sense of smell, but camelids have an incredible sense of smell. And smells matter so much more to them. If you have a llama or an alpaca, you'll notice that they like to roll around in all kinds of things. Aromatic bushes, like there's a bush we have, like a lot of times in gardens, called a cotoneaster. Has kind of a smell. They love to rub on that because anything to get more attention. You think about a peacock, they make a bold statement with the tail. Camelids can make a bold statement by rubbing some plant on them. We see this in nature. Sandhill cranes will go and find red mud, and they will stain their own back with it. And the more red they are, the more bold they are. To the females, it's like, look, I have doctored myself up, and look how fancy I am. Camelids do that too. They like to roll around in different smells, both their own smell. They'll roll around. They have leks where they display and fight and do battle and roll around and do dust baths and stuff. But they also like to roll around in things that will add to their smell. So smell is very important. So every time I approach any sort of a camelid, the first thing I do is I approach them and I hold out my hand, which is what they do. They come up to each other with their face and they will sniff. They'll smell. So I'll put my hand out there and let them smell, and then I'll slowly go down, because remember, this is a paw. You don't want to come like this. So I'll come with a fist like a face, let them have a smell. And then when I lead them, the interesting thing, and this is the mentality, this is one of the biggest secrets you need to understand. Nobody is in charge of the herd. When it comes to llamas, nobody's in charge. Everybody thinks they are, but nobody is. They move as a group. And if one starts moving, they all start kind of moving. One starts moving, they all start moving. Now, within a group of llamas, same thing with wild guanacos, The males will have a lot of bravado when they'll fight. Well, I'm in charge, or now, no, I'm more in charge. Okay, but that can change on a dime. It's not like with lions where there's an established, I am in charge of all this pride of lions. And yeah, they'll get challenged, but it's not very often. So the thing about that is you, when you're walking them, if you're walking along, you're in front, but you're not leading. You want them to think, we are going together, but I happen to be in front. And if they start to push past and start to try to get ahead of you on the side, you don't stop them. Because stopping them, that's not normal. There's nothing in the world where llamas are naturally going together and one of them is like, hold back. So what you do is if they start getting ahead of you, is you lead them and you make a circle in one place. And if you have to, you do it twice. And then you go back to leading them with them either behind you or by your side. You never let them get in front because they're thinking, they're like, oh, okay, we are all, maybe it's just a herd of two, it's just you and them. We're going together. Nobody's in charge. Even though you are in charge, you're leading this game. But you have to remember to never let them think that they are at the front of this movement going on. You want them to be in the mentality, we're going together. So side by side or them behind you. And don't ever stop them from rushing ahead. If they start to try to get ahead of you, then that'll make a dominance issue. Just in one circle, do a little circle in place once or twice, and that'll reset their thinking. They're like, oh, where are we going? Oh, where are we going? Okay, now we are now going as a herd of two. It's a very important principle, and it knocks that bravado down so well. I've never gelded any of my male llamas, and that's like a given. You have to do that, and I've never done that, and they've always been good. So this is just a quick tip. I'm going to do videos that are going to go far more into depth coming up, but I just wanted to start the ball rolling and share this one quick tip. So I appreciate you watching, and always remember that life is a gift. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.